With our sketch complete, we can now begin solid modeling. Fusion 360 also contains tools that will enable us to use primitives to create solid models, but in this case we'll use a classic revolve tool. We'll select profiles that we want to use and the axis. We'll also create a new body. In Fusion 360, bodies can be represented as though they were parts of an assembly. In this case, we can rename our body Wheel. And since we want to focus on this body, we can go ahead and turn off the other bodies in this component. With the primary shape finished, we can begin to place features. On the marking menu in the solid modeling environment is a tool called Press Pull. Press Pull is a multifunction tool. It can move faces around, apply fillets to sharp edges like we're doing in this case. We can also find other key tools like the Hole tool. We'll select the location. The whole feature can be moved around if we like. But we can also center it very easily by selecting the rounded edge. We'll set the diameter to 8 millimeters. And we'll change the point angle. Let's get a better view of that. So right now it's a traditional 118-degree point. What we want to do is just have a flat bottom. So we'll set that tip angle to 180 degrees. We'll set our depth and we'll create our whole feature. Now we want to remove some of the mass from our wheel. So we'll use our shell feature. We'll tell it to remove the large face on the back of the wheel and set the thickness to 2 millimeters. Since we've removed a lot of material from the wheel with our shell, I want to reinforce it with a rib. To do this, we need to create a sketch. We'll use the plane that was used to sketch our original profile, and we'll slice our part at the sketch using Slice Sketch. This will open up the wheel to make it easier to see what our sketch is. First, I'll draw a line from near the hub to near the rim. It doesn't have to be touching. Next, to be able to measure what distance it is offset, I'll project the edge of the rim into the wheel and apply a dimension between the two. With this finished, I can stop my sketch, which will return my wheel to full 3D. And then I'll use the rib tool, selecting just the portion of sketch that I want. I'll set my thickness and set the appropriate direction for the rib. You'll see it fills in the gap. I'll use the Press Pull tool again to set a 1 millimeter radius on this 2 millimeter rib so it completely rounds the top. I can put another fillet around the base of the hub at any time, and Fusion 360 is able to accommodate this. Since I'm working without history, I can select the faces of the rib, select an axis, and use a circular pattern to replicate it. Dragging the manipulator, I can set the number. In this case, we'll just stop with 5. I can suppress any instance of the pattern, and we'll just go ahead and create the ribs. Once again, using the Press Pull tool, I'll select some edges to apply fillets between the ribs, the hub, and the rim. And we can just drag out a distance. And we'll apply it. Now that I'm finished with the geometry of my wheel, I want to go ahead and make it stand out a little bit. I'll set an appearance override for this model. I want to use textured plastic with a random pattern on it. It looks pretty good, but I'd like to just modify it just a little bit. This is a situation where you can have a little fun and just explore different patterns. Let's go ahead and apply it with just a little reduction in the scale. And I think we'll call our wheel complete. Let's bring back the other two bodies that are members of our caster core. And we'll be ready for the next steps.